All right, so moving on, and by now I hope you're realizing how quickly this worksheet really is going. We're doing 16 through 19 here. So again, we're going to look for ourselves, are we dealing with an angle or a segment? And on these ones, we realize we're dealing with a segment because our variable is next to a piece of the line, right? So this is a segment. And when we're doing segments, we're asking, is it inside or outside? And these ones happen to be inside. So we're doing part times part equals part times part. All right, and so we just need to remember one more thing, and that's when we're doing the parts, that the parts come from the same line segment. The parts come from the same line segment. So right here we're doing 7 times x equals 8 times 14. 8 times 14. So that's going to be 7x equals, I don't know, 112 divided by 7, and we get 16. All right, so really not bad on that one. Really not too bad. Okay, so if we're looking at 17, again, we're asking ourselves, are we doing an angle or are we doing a segment? The x is next to this segment right here, so we realize we're doing a segment. Okay, and we're asking, is it inside or outside? Well, for these ones, it happens to be outside, so we're doing external times whole equals external times whole. Okay. Well, the external here is 4 times the whole thing. Well, to get the whole, I'm going to add these two. I'm going to add them. So 4 plus 6 is 10. That's the whole. If I look at this next line, right, the external part's really easy. It's 5. It's whatever's outside of the circle. And then to get the whole piece, I need to add these two. Well, I don't know what x is, but I can still add them together. I just write it as 5 plus x. So 5 times 5 plus x. Well, that's 40. Over here I need to distribute, and remember these rainbows or these lines just mean multiplication. So it'll be 25 plus 5x. And then we just solve for x. So minus 25, divide by 5, so 3 equals x. Okay, now we're flipping it over to page 3, and we're already on our last page here. We're looking at number 18. All right, and we're asking ourselves, angle or segment? Well, it's a segment. The x is next to a line. All right, so we're doing that external times whole equals external times whole. Well, the external part, again, is really easy. It's 18. And then we're going to need to times it by the whole thing. Well, we just add these together, 18 plus x. Then over here, again, the external part, really easy. It's 30. It's outside of the circle. We just want to be sure we don't get mixed up. Since there's nothing to add, this is also the whole. So 30 times 30. Oh, I know that's 900. 18 times 18, I don't know off the top of my head. 324. And then this is just going to be plus 18x. And so we just subtract 324, get 576, divide by 18. X is 576 divided by 18. We get 32. X is 32. Okay, and one last one, looking at number 19. Again, we're asking angle or segment. It's a segment. So inside or outside? It's outside. So we're doing external times whole equals external times whole. Well, the external over here is easy. It's 9. The whole we get by adding them together. It's 16. Okay, the external again over here, quite simple. It's x. And because there is nothing to add, we're just going to times it by itself. right? That's also the whole x. So 9 times 16, again, I don't know that off the top of my head, 144 equals x squared. Square root this to get x alone, and x is 12. And notice that on the test, it will also work out to a nice perfect square, just like that. Okay, if we look down just one problem, we look at number 20. Number 20, they ask us to find BD, and BD is this whole segment here. So I know I'm going to need to add 18, and I'm going to have to add whatever this thing is to get this whole thing. Right? Well, we're looking for a segment, and the segments are inside. So I'm doing part times part equals part times part. All right, so 27 times 16 equals 18 times 4x. Well, we can just use our calculator. 27 times 16 is 432. And then we're just going to times the coefficient. 18 times 4, 72x. Tack on that x at the end there. Yeah, and just use our calculator to find x. Okay, so we're dividing by 72. 432 divided by 72. X is 6. Alright, well if x is 6, I know the length of this piece of BD, which is 4 times 6, or 24. And to find the whole length of BD, I use 24 and I add 18. So 24 plus 18, which is 42.